3, 2, 1.
If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, would he be proud of the nation that he sees? Some would say yes, others would say no. Regardless of your answer, there's no denying how much of an impact his I Have a Dream speech made on the world. Even after 55 years from it being given, we still learn about it in schools and use it as a famous example for how we should treat all men and women of equal value. Well, I'm not here to recite his speech, and not like I could do it justice anyway. I'm here to talk about its origins, maybe think on some fond memories of Dr. King and where his life all began. He was born on January 15, 1929, to Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta King. He, at the very young age of 6, witnessed his very first account of racism and segregation. He befriended a white boy at that age, and they played together a lot, and they ended up having to go to different schools because of segregation back then and because of their skin color. His mom ended up breaking up that friendship because she didn't want her son being friends with a black boy. All through his life, Dr. King grew up in church. He was known pretty well to sing during his father's sermons and while his mother would play the organ, but he didn't really become a Christian until later on. In fact, at the age of 13, he denounced his faith. He didn't believe in Jesus Christ, and that began his feud with the Baptist Church. When he was at the age of 12, he struggled very badly with depression. Because of his grandma's death, he became very depressed, blamed himself, and in this instance, attempted suicide by jumping out of a window. He survived, but this just shows that he was very far off from his faith. Later on, once he studied the Bible more when he was older, he noticed its truths and decided that he wanted to go to seminary. Moving on to college, when he was a junior in high school, Morehouse College, which was predominantly black, said because everybody was they were wanting to go into the draft for World War II, Morehouse College was very antsy to get recruits and students. So they said any juniors that were able to pass an entry-level exam, they would take. So at the age of 18, junior in college or in high school, he decided he would take that exam. He passed, and at the age of 18, he went to Morehouse College. While he was here, he decided that he wanted to go into ministry, so he mended the feelings of hatred that he had with the Baptist Church and decided to go into ministry. There were a number of civil rights movements that he was a part of before the March on Washington, a couple of them being the Montgomery bus boycott, the Albany movement, and the Birmingham campaign. Interestingly enough, he was arrested nearly 30 times before all of this. On August 28, 1963, was the March on Washington, and this is where he gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. This is how most of us know Dr. King, and this is what caused the de-escalation of segregation. King was known to, when he traveled to Tennessee, which he did a lot, he was known to stay in the Lorraine Motel in room 306. And he went to Memphis to go to a conference on April 4th, 1968. And while he was standing on the second floor of the balcony, he was shot by James Earl Ray. The bullet went through his cheek and down his spine. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, and an hour later he died because of a heart attack that the bullet had caused. While our world is not perfect, Dr. King's words have helped us to make changes necessary for us to live in harmony with each other on earth. While King didn't willingly give his life for fellow man, I have no doubt in my mind that if it came down to it, he would have. We need to continue using Dr. King's words to shape how we live for ourselves, but also for God and for our fellow man. Thank you.